you like a flea in a jar? When fleas are placed into a jar, if a lid is placed on the jar for a period of time, once the lid is taken off, the flea stays in there. The flea learns to live within the limitations of a barrier that's no longer there. We are the same. One of the quotes that comes to mind is that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And so frequently with clients, I see that they are chasing success. They're chasing a toxic goal of I'll be happy when, I'll be good enough when, I'll be worthy when, I'll be peaceful when I get the house, I'm successful, or whatever it is. And I've seen so many times that yes, that can bring elements of that. However, there can be a deep sense of emptiness and a lack of fulfillment because it's so common that we're living life defined by the rules of people around us. That means that we can learn from our parents, our family, our siblings, our community, that this is how you live a good life. This is what a good life involves. And I see all the time that people are chasing that good life with a deep sense of emptiness. It's not their good life. It's the life of the people who have told them that that's a good life. And there's innocence in that because the people who have told them were told it from their parents, from the people above. And we start to look at where do things like addictions and stuff come from? It's like, oh, is it the person's personality? It's because they don't love themselves, because they're not worthy. I'm here to say at times yes, but lots of the time, no. Is that person actually living a life that inspires them, that fuels their heart, that is guided by their heart, that is guided by what they love, that is elicited by aeroplanes that fly over and make loud noises whilst you're trying to create content? Fundamentally, are they living a life defined by their creation, or are they living a life by default? Default being what they've learned from their parents and from their grandparents and from the people around them. So why this fires me up is that someone could come in for social anxiety. They've got social anxiety. And as I start to explore, we discover that they're not living a life that they love. You could go, they're not living it because they're socially anxious. Yes, at times. Or are they using habits and addictions to literally placate their feeling of emptiness, their feeling of numbness, just to get by? Because they're living a life. It's a quote that goes something of the nature of men live lives of quiet desperation. And as do females. I see it with female clients that come and they're in a relationship because that's the best that they think that they'll get. They've learned from their parents or their parents' parents. And like, this is life, this is how it is, the white picket fence, the house, the kids. But deep inside, they're not fulfilled. They're not in a relationship that energizes them and inspires them, where they're fueled by it. It's quite common. I'll see women and they're with men with a limited level of what's known as emotional intelligence. EQ is another way to put it. And is this saying that those men aren't worthy or valuable or lovable? No. Emotional intelligence is something that is learned. It's something where there's a capacity to actually inquire with the partner as to, I wonder how they're feeling. I wonder how this sits with them, how their experience is right now. Whereas we could say that lower emotional intelligence can be fundamentally where the world just looks concrete. It looks concrete as though, everyone's seeing the same world, where that's not the case. We're seeing 8 billion different worlds. One of my favorite quotes is that minds of human beings judge, they project, they label, they compare, they categorize, all 8 billion of them. All 8 billion minds do this. We live in 8 billion different worlds. And what I see that really is an undercurrent of a lot of human suffering, which leads to a lot of chronic dis-ease, both in the body and mentally, is that people are living lives that fundamentally they don't want to be living. They're living the lives that they think they should be living, not the lives that are guided by their heart. And if you use the word soul, where they are inspired, they are in spirit, they are inspired from within, versus needing motivation externally all the time. People say, oh, why do I procrastinate? I'm lazy, da da da. And we look at, are you genuinely inspired by this? Is this deeply in alignment with the values that light your heart and your soul on fire? And a lot of people, they're like, I don't even know what those are. And this is an interesting thing to leave you with, because I'm all about a new paradigm of how we see chronic disease and mental illness. But what if chronic disease and mental illness, they are actually messages to wake us up to a deeper, more enriching, nourishing, fulfilling way of life? I know that so many people, as well as myself, coming out the other side of pain, struggles, challenges, there's hidden gifts. There's a life where life is happening and seen to be happening for us rather than to us. So it's food for thought. Are you living your life by design? Are you living your life inspired by your heart's authentic desires? Or are you living a life of quiet desperation? A life with a lack of fulfillment, a life with toxic goals of I'll be happy when I get the money, I'll be happy when I'm seen this way. What life are you living? Because fundamentally, I see that what exists within each and every one of us is a beautiful diamond. A diamond within that we're born into this world with, that never actually goes anywhere. And we collect a lot of horse shit along the way, the horse shit being our traumas, our experiences, the stories that we develop ourselves, that we develop from those around us. And then we live a life where we learn to paint nail polish on the outside of us. That means I want the world to see me this way. I want to be seen as funny. I want to be seen as nice. I want to be seen as friendly. Whatever it is, I want to be seen as wealthy. And all our lives we're trying to paint nail polish on a diamond, not seeing who we really are.